Welcome to e-learning platform of Christ College. Now we go into the last part of this audit course. That is the last topic of audit course and part including the unit fifth. That's a biodiversity and its conservation. Then in this class we mainly defined what is biodiversity, what are the different type of biodiversity, etc. Biological diversity or biodiversity is simply the amazing variety of life form on the earth and the high variability of the life process. That is a simple definition of biodiversity. It is the immense heterogeneity or variability in form, size, structure, function, mode of life, and behavior among the biological species of an area, country, continent, or the whole biosphere. In 1992, there is a Convention on Biological Diversity carries an internationally acceptable definition of biodiversity as the variability among the living organisms from all sources, inter alia, terrestrial, marine, and other aquatic ecosystem and ecological complexes of which they are a part. This include diversity within species, between species, and of ecosystem. That is an internationally acceptable definition of biodiversity. Now we discuss about components of biodiversity. It includes genetic diversity. First, we deal with genetic diversity. It is a diversity or variation of gene within and between species. That is a species difference. Simply it is the diversity or variation of genes within and between the species. It implies that each member of a species differ widely from the other in its genetic makeup. Genetic diversity results from sexual reproduction, genetic recombination, mutation, and environmental influences. Genetic diversity enables organisms to adapt themselves to their environment. This in turn enhances their fitness and survival values. That's the importance of genetic diversity. Next type of diversity is the species diversity. Species diversity is the diversity or variability of the species of a community or region. More precisely, it is the variety of rare, unrelated or dissimilar species in a community or area. So the higher the number of species, number of rare or unrelated species, the greater the species diversity. Species diversity is related to two factors. First one is the species richness and second one is the species evenness. Species richness means is the abundance in the number of species in a community. That means species richness is the abundance in the number of species in a community. So it represents total number of species in a community or area. Species diversity is directly proportional to species richness. So the greater the species richness, the greater the species diversity. Next is a species evenness. Species evenness is defined as the equitability or uniformity in the number and distribution of the members of different species. It is a maximum when all the species as a community have approximately the same number of individuals. Species evenness and species diversity have an inverse relationship. That is, so the greater the species evenness, the lesser the species diversity. That means if the species evenness is greater, that is increasing the species evenness, lesser the species diversity. Next type of diversity is the community diversity or ecosystem diversity. Uh, This is the diversity in composition of communities and ecosystem. So it represents the variability in the continental or global distribution of communities or ecosystem types. There is ecosystem difference. There is community diversity among different regions. Next is the level of biodiversity. There are three levels of community and ecosystem diversity, namely that is alpha diversity, beta diversity, and gamma diversity. These are the level of biodiversity in any community. First, there is a alpha diversity. Alpha diversity is the diversity within a single community or ecosystem. So it represents the number of different species in a community or ecosystem. That is the diversity within a single community is the alpha diversity. Then beta diversity. It is the diversity within a range of several communities. It represents the diversity of species among local communities. There is a diversity range within a several communities, the beta diversity. Once again, I explain what is alpha diversity. Alpha diversity is a diversity within a single community or ecosystem. Beta diversity is the diversity within a range of several communities. There is a difference between alpha diversity and beta diversity. The third type of biodiversity level is the gamma diversity. It is a diversity within several ranges of communities. It represents the overall diversity among the different ecosystem of a region. That is the difference between alpha, beta and gamma diversity. Once again, I define gamma diversity. Gamma diversity is a diversity within several ranges of communities. Thank you.